Okay, so today we are going to make some symmetrical heart shapes. That is our goal. We're going to find some little pieces of paper. We don't need a big paper for this. I'm using this post-it notepad. I'm going to see if this works out okay. And I'm taking one of these shapes. I'm going to fold it in half. If I have the sticky part, I have to notice that's going to be a little harder to unfold it, but that might be kind of nice when I want to add this to my paper and make a design with my cut shapes. Let's see here if I can open that back up. Okay, so from the fold, we're going to try to find the fold here. Just check that. We're drawing half of a heart shape from the fold, and it's gonna, you want to come down a little bit from the top, put your pencil or whatever you're using right on the fold and make a little rainbow arc. Okay, and when we're done, it's gonna look kind of like most of a number 2. If you notice, you could add a little line there and find your 2 shape, or your 2 line really. But half of a heart, you want to put that line on the fold, curve it around and back. So let's see what happens when I cut that out. Hopefully it has stayed in one piece. If we drew from the fold is going to hold our shape together. By cutting, you're cutting the other side. Let's see, you're cutting the other side, and at the same time you are going to remove that heart shape. Here's our negative space, our empty negative heart shape. We're going to do something with that. And here's what we really wanted. Check and see if our little heart stayed together. Okay, there's our fold in the middle, and there's our symmetrical shape. It's the same on both halves, reflecting like a reflecting mirror shape. Now it's a whole heart. Okay, so when we have 2 of these, I've already got another one. You can make a little arrangement with these pieces on your paper. I usually do it kind of like this. I'm going to leave the stripes up, I think. If you're using a plain white paper, you can color your paper first, you can color your paper afterwards. Actually, I think I'm going to put that one down because that red. I'm going to put this one stripey side down. So whatever paper you're using, you just want to fold it and draw from the fold. So this is part 1, is making some heart shapes. And then I usually put this one down here. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the stripey side. And there's a little sticky left to the sticky pad. If that's what you're using, it might be kind of helpful. It might get in the way, but I'm going to try to use my sticky paper and save a teeny bit of glue. And I'm going to line that up. You can put it however you want on your other piece of paper if you're trying it like mine. And I'm going to probably color those stripes with a pattern is what I was thinking, just to make it a little more interesting. So I might go ahead and get these on here. I'm trying to do this kind of quickly. So I'm going to just put this one the other way. So you might even find a paper with a little design on it. You might want to use some old wrapping paper, little scraps of interesting paper you might have around the place. I think I'll put that one with stripes. I guess I'll put stripes on that one. So I can use those little lines, those vertical parallel lines on my heart. I could use those to help me with a little design. But maybe I'll turn it sideways, or at a little bit of an angle really, just for something a little different. So I could have that as my little design. Now, what we want to really end up doing is take a little look at texture. I've got a really thin, like a piece of copy paper right here, and I'm using a clipboard. It makes it kind of easier. You don't have to have a clipboard. You just want to hold things still. We want to rub the side of a peeled crayon. If you have an old crayon laying around, you want to rub that. And we're going to do a texture rubbing. So this is going to pick up, that's coming from maybe that glue. I think that's that extra glue I had. I'm sort of rushing this, which I probably am not setting a good example. I'm trying to make sure I can get this video ready and try to keep it kind of to the point of what we wanted to do was cut our matching heart shape. Yeah, that must be that glue there. But it's picking up the texture. This crayon is picking up the texture of the whatever's under the paper. That's the whole point of this. Now, on my clipboard, I've got this. Somebody made this for me. I don't want to, well, maybe I do. Okay, so I'm going to rub this. I want to pick up all those little heart shapes that we cut out. And every time there's a little difference in height of the papers, whatever you put under there, if you're rubbing sideways with your crayon, you're not coloring like this way like you usually would. You're rubbing it sideways. This is called a texture rubbing because you're picking up, the crayon is picking up the texture of the different textures in the paper. So if we were to rub our finger over that, we would feel it with our finger, you know, the different layers of papers, because texture is the way something feels or looks like it could feel when we make our art. So whatever's under there, that's pretty much it. Now we've got a texture rubbing. We tried to learn a little bit about symmetry and a little bit about texture. Of course, we're using color. We've got our shapes. We talked about positive and negative shapes, the empty negative heart shape and the positive shape that we cut out. We're just really trying to have a little fun here, actually, when it comes down to it. Think about our upcoming holiday. And I could rub that area right there. I'm going to get that little doodad underneath, that little sparkling star heart, whatever that is, flower. Yeah, there's a bunch of texture down there. That's a really big height change. So you want to sign it when you're done. And make another one with a different color. That's the whole point of prints. You can make more than one. Unless you don't, of course we don't want to be wasting our paper. We want to maybe give this to somebody special, right? All right, see you later.